Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Handlers.
So the handler.
Where do I begin?
What I really liked of your definition about the handler was how the handler is designed, among many things, to distract, to disconnect, to basically keep person disconnected from himself
In
and
reaction.
not repeat himself, and to be caught up in drama, caught up in emotions, so that they're feeding whatever they're feeding that they basically can't, but they're staying captured in that way.
Well, basically, it's to keep you in reaction.
Exactly, yes.
Because if you're in reaction, you're constantly, it's not so much pushing shit uphill, but you're constantly reacting to the world rather than creating the world.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, look, so many chicks will come to me and it's like, this guy. And the guy inevitably ends up being a handler from another lineage that's handled their lineage throughout dimensions. So it's sort of like the motivation then is to liberate not just from this dimension, but from all these dimensions that this lineage has captured your fucking juju, It's all coming, as this whole thing is returning to integrity, the other theme. So as that's all happening, then people are they're waking up to the fact that they've got choice. And they either go back to that handler and they fucking stay in it, or they liberate. It becomes a choice. And Stockholm Syndrome's a real fucking thing, man. It's a real fucking thing. So, there's many things to liberate or look at when the handler is present. It can be so subtle.
It is. And it can, and I found that having myself liberated from a handler in recent days and watching the disconnect, watching all the layers of the hookings back to scenario. We good?
Yes.
Okay. So watching sort of the different layers of the hook-ins to hook back into this handler, it's been really, really interesting. And I've really had to watch the ego, where there's been pain, where there's been injustice, where there's been layers of feelings that weren't even mine that hooked me back in, layers of love, layers of hate, layers of all sorts of shit. And it's been a really interesting journey to really disconnect all those layers, even when the handler and I aren't physically present. So it's quite a journey with the handler at times. And what I've learned is that it's not personal. None of it is personal with a handler, because it's got one purpose and one purpose only: to encapture and to keep on feeding off that thing, and they will do it by any means necessary. So knowing that it's not personal, for me personally, has just been a real liberating factor as well.
I mean, you've got to look at it that way. And when I say you've got to, it's non-reactive. Because it's like they've got their own set of character rules and roles and whatever the fuck, right? Sometimes they're just not fucking deep enough. They're just never going to meet you. And it's sort of like, you take it, they didn't love me. And it's like, no, it's not really that. It's that they did it to their capacity. It just was never going to fill you the way it was going to be needed. It's like...
Yes.
The handler is known for just keeping it there. Like, it's never there. It's the carrots always dangling. You tend to see the potential, not the reality. You tend to, have these weird sort of, a handler's not always, just to be clear here, a handler's not always a lover. A handler can be family, a handler can be friend. We've seen lots of the BFF whatevers. Look, we've got quite a few of these references. If you go to sekhmetspeaks.com and you whack into the search bar handler, or is it handlers? One of them comes up with a lot of stuff and one of them doesn't. I don't know. Fucking Wix. Yeah. So, it's worth looking at, because, a lot of them have this whole, but where... I remember twin flames first started as, the love of your life. And then it became, if you got with your twin flame, it'd be hard because, you're working out each other's karma. I mean, it just became all this bullshit that people justified fucked relationships. You know? So it's another no age, big cage, whatever the fuck you want to call it, concept that unfortunately plays on our deepest longing to have someone to share ourselves, our life, our heart, our experience with. You know? Oh, they know how to get you.
They find the weakness and go straight for it. They try and fulfill it.
Totes. So, I mean, you know, in these instances, go with the flags. If those flags start popping, don't bother knocking.
Leave it alone.
So, well, if you were to look at a handler now, give me some flags. Give me some flags. If you were to experience now a new relationship with a boy, girl, friend, foe, boss, whatever, what would be your clues or flags or whatever the fuck that you're in handler territory? You're being handled.
Number one would probably be that there's gaslighting. The person makes you question yourself.
Ooh, very nice.
That's number one, I think. And I think it's healthy that we always have self-inquiry, but then there's derailment. Then there's unaccountability that can turn into gaslighting. So that's
we've
one.
Got gaslighting, unaccountability.
Another one is the carrot. The carrot. They're always kind of waiting for like the next slice or the next bit or the next piece of it. That's definitely one.
I'm listening.
Sorry.
It's just, well, look, everyone, we've had a really fucked signal.
I think that you're sort of frozen here.
Yeah, the weather's started to come up.
Next flag. It keeps you distracted. It keeps
distraction.
All right. So distraction. They keep you distracted. So they keep you distracted from your connection to yourself, your trust from yourself, your commitment to yourself, your commitment to whatever is important to you, and it keeps on. There's always a problem. There's always an argument. There's always something that's a little bit off. There's always something that just it doesn't like. It's all about potential and who actually reaches it as well. It just sort of. It doesn't become life-giving, it becomes life-distracting. That's how I would describe it.
Draining.
Yes, it's draining. It's draining. It's draining in the sense of that it's emotionally draining, it's mentally draining. You keep on having to... It's almost like, the way that I would describe it, it's like if you're sitting on a chair that's made with 4 legs and one of the legs is missing and you're constantly trying to kind of balance yourself out.
So in listing the flags, because we kind of got cut off before, we started with... Fuck, I forgot already. I don't know. It started with gaslighting, accountability, the carrot.
Excellent.
Distraction.
So the next one after that is it keeps you unstable because of the distraction. It keeps you from feeling yourself and feeling your truth. It's always like there's always trouble or a drama or something you have to deal with or something where your attention goes outside of yourself.
See, what happens...
There's always a form of instability
What
there.
happens with that, I've noticed, is people then start to confuse the drama as passion. And it's not true.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, so you get a really fucked up version of what love
It's a very different flavor.
Yes. All right, so gaslighting, accountability or lack thereof, carrot, distraction,
Definitely
instability.
gaslight. That's definitely stability. So the last one that I've got is feelings of obligation, feelings of contract, feelings like you have to be there for them, feelings like you have to help them, like a real sense that There's
duty.
something that ties you in.
Yes, that's usually implanted suggestion or an overlay of duty or some fuckery that's come in with you in the construct. So your geometries around you, the seals that they own, can be operable.
Yeah, right. Well, that's definitely been an experience of quite a few of them. So, wow. Interesting. So that's my essential list on handlers.
So give us a summation then, please. We've got gaslighting, we've got accountability or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Then we've
got the carrot.
The
where
carrot.
people on, you're always the next thing, always the next thing.
Yep, the carrot. Instability.
Stability. We've got a feeling, sense of obligation.
Yes.
And
implanted suggestion. And is that it? Because that's 6. I've got 6 on my fingers. Oh no, 5. Anyway, that's fucking look out for it.
Okay. I suppose there's like a lot of other things. I think that's like the core of it, I find. I think you can go into different flavours of all those flags, but for me, that has been like the core experiences of a handler. Yeah.
And it's not always boyfriend, girlfriend, or lover, or whatever you want to say. It can be family member, it can be bestie, it can be boss, it can be person, place, situation that somehow keeps you from locking and loading all you are, living in integrity. And if you can't, not in integrity, you're not going to fucking get into essence. So, I mean, again, commitment to self. Are you committed 100% to self? Is this relationship helping? Is this experience helping? Is this job helping? Am my family helping? You know, and just fucking, who's the most important thing in it all? You. That's it. You. You come in by yourself, you fucking leave by yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be able to be accountable to you. I think that's what that whole thing was in the Egyptian underworld, was the idea of weighing your heart against a feather. It was like, you know, are you accountable for all you've said, done, been? If you can be like absolutely A-OK, accept full responsibility for your own creative juju, that's smart.
That's smart. That really is, isn't it?
Yes, my darling.
Right.
So,
I like that
I mean, there's always the truth in, you know, some fiction. So, the handler. Do you think you'll know one when you see one?